What's up, everyone? We're going to be covering Airbnb here and some good messages that are good to have in your inventory to save as quick replies. What I mean by that is the messaging system on Airbnb is set up so that you can actually have quick replies. So if you get the same question over and over and over again, you can actually just save the message in the Airbnb message system. And when you get that question again, just click one or two buttons and then bam, it sends the same reply that you sent to other people. The only difference is the person's name will be different. So it's pretty convenient. So we're going to go ahead and bring that up. Let me share my screen so y'all can get a visual representation of what I'm talking about. This is on desktop, by the way. So if you see the message icon at the bottom, it says quick replies. So there are some saved quick replies that are automatically there, but I've never used them. They don't really seem to be all that useful. But just so you know, some of them are going to be saved by default. So this is going to be interesting because even though I've come up with a lot of quick replies, maybe some people in the comments have quick replies of their own that aren't presented here. So let us know in the comments, what are some quick replies that you have that weren't featured in this video? If we can help each other out as hosts, it'll just make it that much more smoother for our guests and indirectly for us. So the first quick reply, and I don't like this, but I have to actually use the reply for you to see it. I just won't press send. So I'm going to click on. It's basically what I do when I'm asking for a review after I review the guest. So I click on use reply. It says, hello, thanks for being such a great guest. I left you a 5-star review. Now, assuming they deserve the 5-star review, just keep that in mind. And if you enjoyed your stay, it would be great if you left a review for me as well. If there's anything that could have made your stay better, please send me a message. Thanks again for booking my place. Hope to see you next time you're in town. Forever your host, sincerely, Elijah. So what that does is it's just basically encouraging them to leave a review, asking politely. And I'm also letting them know that you're open to feedback, but you're kind of saying like, hey, can you give me the feedback here? So if you do have something to say that would lead to 4 stars or below, just send me a message here instead. So that's the first quick reply. Definitely a good to have since most guests aren't going to review you unless you ask. And the ones that do review you, they'll probably only leave the ones that review you without you asking are going to be the ones that are going to leave a bad review. So if you want to balance the scales, you need to make sure you have enough good reviews. And most of them, you're going to have to ask for it directly. Scrolling down, we have the early check-in request message. So if someone asks to check in early, I always send this. Hello, such and such. The housekeeper cleans the apartment between checkouts and check-ins. While I can't guarantee you an early check-in, if my housekeeper finishes cleaning sooner than expected, I'd be happy to accommodate a check-in earlier than 4 p.m. Now, I have the automatic thing saved there. That's why I said between 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. How much earlier would depend on the housekeeper, but I can keep you posted. So that's good to have in your inventory. Now, that's not for a paid one. That's if you decide to offer an early check-in, I guess just for free. Not guess, but just for free. Next, we have freezing temperatures. So as you know, especially in certain places in the country, temperatures will drop below freezing, and that can cause pipes to start busting. So you need to make sure that the faucets are dripped. And if that happens while a guest is in there, they need to know the protocols to make sure this doesn't happen, because that would be quite inconvenient for them too. It's not like, hey, I'm trying to save myself as a host. Do you really want to be in there while that's happening as a guest? And then you won't have a place to stay when all these pipes bust? No. So this quick reply has, hello, such and such. I hope all is well with you. Freezing temperatures are expected to hit Dallas during your stay. Please be sure to keep the faucets, showers, and sinks with hot and cold water dripping to prevent bursting pipes. I'm here for you if you have any questions. I've yet to have any issues with this when that scenario is going on. Yes, I always say, oh yeah, sure, I'll do that. Next, we have, now I have a booking question that I ask before someone books. I basically ask them what brings them to town for their stay. And this is basically to get an accurate reading on, are they my desired customer avatar? The units are designed and catered around business travelers, remote workers, and travel nurses. Not really set up for leisure travelers or even just people who aren't in that type of situation. So I want to know who is renting the apartment. And every now and then you'll get someone that just doesn't answer that question. It's required, but they'll just say, "Hey, thanks for letting me book your place." Like, no, I need to know why you're there. And this is actually in my house rules. Like, this is part of the booking process. If you don't complete it, your reservation will be canceled. So I have a quick reply if they don't send that information. Say, "Hello, thanks for booking with me. I look forward to being your host. Before your stay begins, I need the answer to the question that was asked as part of the booking process. What reason are you renting the unit for?" Then usually they reply with the reason. And for those of y'all that are wondering why do I need to know, because if they're my desired client avatar, perfect. Maybe there's something that they're coming in town for that I could help with. If they're coming to town for a particular reason, I might have a contact that I could recommend them, or I could have a place or a venue that I could recommend based on my knowledge of the city. It might be something else I could do to help them. And if they're not in my desired customer avatar, let's say they're a leisure traveler, to be honest, I need to set expectations with them. Like, let them know, look, the unit is set up for this, this, and this. So our house rules are this, this, and this. Do you agree to them? Because leisure travelers are coming for another reason entirely. They need to be aware that my house rules are stricter than most places because it's catered towards a specific clientele. Some people might think that's a bit much, but I'm the original Airbnb host in the sense of when an Airbnb bed and breakfast catering to business travelers, having a place to stay while they're in town for business. I'm the OG host, so I'm looking for guests to fit that demographic. Anyway, next we have let's say if they don't answer the first guest doesn't answer booking questions, I hit them with this. This is a quick reply. "Hello, such and such. Check-in instructions and codes will not be sent until we receive the answer to this question." I'm actually serious about that. If they don't want to answer this, that's actually a bad sign that they're up to some dumb stuff. Like, yeah, I want to try and throw a party or something. So that's another reason I will cancel this reservation. Or I'll call Airbnb and have them cancel it rather. Next, we have if a guest hasn't checked out yet. This one is a lot of fun. So if a guest hasn't checked out 30 minutes past their scheduled checkout time, because I do allow a 20-minute grace period, because you might just be running behind. But the checkout is 11 a.m. They're still in there at 11:30. This gets sent. "Hello, Jim. Hello, such and such. I see you haven't checked out the property yet. I'm going to get started on the unit. Please let me know when you've checked out of the property, and I'll come back. Thanks again for booking with me." Next, we have inquiry without answering booking questions. So you do have people that they'll ask questions about the unit before booking. And a lot of times they don't even say why they're coming to town, which means that they're not answering the question. Now, what's important is if they send an inquiry and you pre-approve their stay, they can book without answering that booking question. So that's why I have this quick reply to get this out the way before I even answer their questions. So I say, "Hello, I appreciate your interest in the unit. I would first need the answer to the booking question that is asked on the booking page before I can answer your questions. This is to ensure you're the right guest for the unit. What brings you in town for your stay?" Now, what this does is it does set the scenario up to where like they're asking questions to see if my unit is right for them. But I'm also letting them know that, hey, I need to make sure you're the right guest for the unit too. So it is kind of a level set in a way. But regardless if you're going to use it or not, it's good to have. Next, we got neighborhood. That's another automatic one. The no check-in, the no contact check-in. I covered this in my scheduled messages video. But if I haven't had any contact with this guest, they haven't messaged me at all, and it's been a day into their stay, even though the automatic messages are being sent, I'll just send this in, "Hey, I hope your check-in went smoothly. If there's anything else that I can do to make your stay wonderful, don't hesitate to ask." What that does is if there's something that's kind of bugging them about the listing, like maybe the batteries in the remote died and, it's like, that might impact them leaving you a review or not. So you send this message and they'll say, "Oh yeah, it's really bothering me that like the batteries in the remote went out." Well, you can send someone over there to, get new batteries and put those in the remote. Then that little thing was like nitpicking them in their head has been taken care of. And those little things will go a long ways towards guests giving you a 5-star review. Next, we have paid early check-in. So this is different from the other quick reply. That was for if I want to offer check-in for free for whatever reason, an early check-in. This is the normal check-in message to get sent if they ask about, hey, can I check in early? I say, hey, the housekeeper cleans the apartment between checkouts and check-ins based on our schedule. I'd be happy to accommodate an early check-in. My housekeeper will charge a rush fee though. Early check-in is $15 per hour, and the earliest check-in is available at 1 p.m. And my normal check-in is 4 p.m. So then I leave an outline of the prices. 1 p.m. 45, 2 p.m. 30, 3 p.m. 15. Would you like to schedule an early check-in? Now, regardless if you have a housekeeper or not, I would actually frame it this way because it gives a reason why you're charging for early check-in. And let's say your housekeeper is yourself. Well, charge yourself $15 per hour. At the end of the day, a paid check-in is not owed. So if you want to give it, you're well within your rights to charge a fee. I guarantee you hotels are doing it. Next, we have paid late checkout. Same concept. They ask for a late checkout. Hello, I'm glad to say that late checkout is available. Now, this is assuming it is available. If it's not for whatever reason, let them know it's not available. That could be a quick reply in itself. You could have a quick reply saying like, hey, sorry, early check-in is not available, or late checkout is not available. But yeah. But continuing, I will be charged a rush fee though by my housekeeper. Same thing applies. I give them the information they need to make a decision based on the prices. Now, I do have a cap on how late I'm willing to entertain a late checkout because the unit still needs to be prepared. It tends to take between 45 and 75 minutes to clean a studio apartment. And this is assuming that the place was used. So I want to make sure that there's that buffer time needed to efficiently clean the studio apartment. Next, we have the profile picture unidentified. So this is part of my house rules, but I have it so that my guest has to have a profile picture in order to book. And you can set that up in Airbnb. But Airbnb's version of a profile picture, they could take a picture of their hand like this, and they have a profile picture. So for me, that's a problem. So part of my house rules is it needs to be a picture of someone's face, because this is how we identify that the person booking the unit is going to be staying in the unit, because we have a Ring camera outside of our apartments, and we face check everyone who goes in the apartment during check-in. So the person who booked the unit is not in the apartment or is not checking in, that's a problem because we don't allow third-party bookings. If you book the stay, you need to be in the unit. So it reads here, hello, part of the check-in process is verification of making sure the person booking the unit is the person staying. This is done since third-party bookings aren't allowed. This is done via checking the profile picture on Airbnb. I see that your profile picture doesn't contain a face of a person. Please upload a picture of yourself here so that the check-in process can be completed when you arrive at the unit. So I've had this happen a few times. Once they've been made aware that they're not going to have access to the unit, so they upload a profile picture of their face. They tend to do it. I don't get it. I did get someone giving some pushback, but once I told him, look, we can't give you access to the unit until you do this, he did it. Of course, it's up to you if you want to set that up. I don't allow third-party bookings, so that's why it's so important. If you allow them, this might not be something that's important to you. Scrolling down, next we got these are automatic ones. So things to do in Dallas question. I get this question a lot, but people ask like, hey, what things can you do for fun or whatever? So I try to keep this up to date, but I have links to websites that cover things to do in Dallas, and I just arranged for that to be sent. Now, you could make your own literature and send this to them. That's something to think about too. But this is more so for the leisure travelers I get. The people that I'm catering to, they don't really tend to ask this question for the most part, but it's good to have in your inventory. So I say, when it comes to seeing what Dallas has to offer, the following resources can be of great use to you. Then I provide the links. So for you, that would obviously be different. You need to do a little research on some articles that share some good, fun things to do in your city. But once you do, just create this quick reply. It'll save you a lot of time. And lastly, we have the unit is under 68 degrees. So this is a big thing, but if your guests are abusing your AC unit, it'll go out sooner. And in certain cases, if you leave the air on too long and it's under like 60 degrees, it could cause ice to form, and this could end up blocking certain things, which could cause a big problem for whatever building you're in. So to avoid all that, you need the minute system or some kind of temperature detecting device for this to be for you to be able to do this. But minute tells me anytime like the temperature drops under a certain degrees because it's monitoring it in the room. It's a sound monitoring device. But if you want to know more about minute, you can check this video out where I go into the things that all Airbnb hosts should have as part of their business setup. So assuming that the temperature drops under certain degrees, I'll send this message. Hello, the temperature gauge reports the air conditioner running under 68 degrees. Running it that low runs the risk of the vents freezing over, which can cause problems for the building. Please return the units to running over 68 degrees to avoid any maintenance problems. And with that being said, that covers all the quick replies that I use on Airbnb. If you have some that you would like to share in the comments, it's very much welcome. That does for this video. If you have any questions also, comment section, drop them, I'll answer them. If you found this video helpful, thumbs up, very much appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new, if you want more content on Airbnb. This has been Elijah. Catch you in the next video. Don't forget to get out there and take control of your financial destiny.